This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Mic check, 1, 2. Are we recording? Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein, an award-winning chef, restaurateur, and mom. I have a lot on my plate, including my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. That's why I was prescribed Cosentyx. It helps me move better.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for people 2 years of age and older with active psoriatic arthritis. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at 1-844-COSENTYX or Cosentyx.com.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Let's hang out and let's talk about what Lez is about. And let's listen to two lesbians shout. Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Lez Hang Out. I'm Leigh Holmes Foster, and here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This Week in the Lesdom is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. In season 8, our last Patreon episode was on bros. You can hear all of our thoughts at bit.ly/LezPatreon. We are also doing a big Patreon campaign right now until July 1st. Once we hit 100 patrons, you can all pick a Should've Been Gay episode so you could decide what our next Should've Been Gay is. At 150, we're going to do a live Patreon-only show, and at 200, we're hosting a virtual house party with all of our Patreon supporters. You can join at bit.ly/LezPatreon. Also, during Pride Month, what better way to support the gays than to support me and Leigh and Kristen, our production assistant, your little lesbian team. Here we are.
That's what Pride is all about.
Yes.
We also want to remind you that you can still sign up for some of the remaining spots to go to France with us in March of 2026. We are planning that trip to go to Paris, to Bordeaux, to have a great gay time in Gay Paris. So join us for that. You can sign up at bit.ly/LesDoFrance. So in the greater Lez universe, listen, it's Pride Month, and I think there's no better way to celebrate Pride than to come out as a person who's always been a lesbian and is now dating a man. Okay, you've seen this Fletcher thing going on, Ellie. Yeah?
Yes, and I do have thoughts, Leigh. I think we will have differing thoughts we can discuss.
Here's my thoughts on it. Here's my problem. We did a whole episode on coming out as gay and then coming out as bisexual, and I'm totally behind it. I'd actually also be totally behind someone being like, hey, I thought I was gay. Actually, maybe I'm like completely 100% straight. I mean, like weird, but I mean, fine if that's
you do
like,
you. Whatever your sexuality is not our, like, we don't need to decide what it is.
I don't care. There's a way to do this that would feel less pointedly weird that I just don't. This whole announcement to be like, you know what, week 1 of Pride Week, let's go straight. And I'm like, what?
Okay,
what's
yes,
happening?
And also she's not saying she's straight. I
know she's not, but like, it's very straight coded. It's weird.
Yes, but she has always said she's queer. I think my thing is, I feel as though she was like, I'm scared to tell all of you this because I know you're all going to come for me. And then everyone was like,
do it last week.
And then everyone was like, yeah, we are going to come. Like,
yeah,
you're right.
Are.
You're right, Fletcher. And I feel like that's the fucked part about it is like, I understand like lesbian rep is important. Fletcher has always identified as queer and is not a lesbian.
No, and
like,
that's fine. And
so
that's
it's
fine.
like, I feel as though like lesbians love to, like you said, lesbians love to come for the bisexuals.
Oh, absolutely. She's going to get eaten alive for this.
And
that's not my problem.
That's not fair.
I do not care even a tiny little bit who Fletcher is dating. I don't care their gender. I don't care how she identifies. Whatever. I think it is weird to be like a public, vocally, openly queer person who picks the first week of Pride Month to be like, actually, I'm in this very straight relationship and I'm going to announce that by like vaguely using a different name. Like the fact that the whole thing is signed Carrie, and then she kind of gave like, it's not just that she went Carrie, she went like Carrie Underwood. Do you know what I mean? Like the vibes are like weird barefoot Americana. Like it's straight coded to a degree that it's like off-putting to do it the first week of Pride. That's all. I don't care, man.
Valid.
I don't care who you're dating. I don't care what your the gender. I don't care your sexuality. I don't care how you identify. I don't care about any of it. Doing it this way just feels like it's sending a message that I'm not sure I get as like why you're sending that message now.
The Pride
It's
Month
weird.
of it all is what you're like.
The Pride Month debut of like your het relationship, and you're like, I'm just a down-home Southern gal in my t-shirt and jeans in the yard barefoot dating a man. I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I mean, like, that's a way to celebrate Pride, I guess.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
It's a choice.
I
It's
do
a
just
choice.
feel
And-
as though the lesbians are telling on themselves, and I'm like,
Oh, 100%.
we have to be better, I think.
Yes, the community's response to this is going to be
It's
gross.
fucking horrible.
It's gonna be gross and weird.
horrific.
But like, listen, JoJo Siwa did not get nearly the amount of hate for like basically hard launch cheating with a dude on like live television. I mean, not live, whatever.
Yeah.
Cheating with a dude on like national television, because it's like, okay, well, you didn't do it like during Pride and being like, I have an announcement. Like you just
you're
went on
saying if
television and like
if
fucked a
JoJo
dude.
Siwa waited until Pride Month, we would be coming for her too. I mean, people
Yes.
still are coming for JoJo. Let's be real.
Yeah, but not as much as they're doing it. Not as much as they're going after Fletcher right
Which
now,
is
I don't
also,
think.
I feel even worse because, like, I don't know. Fletcher has been queer for like 10 years.
Yeah, and you can be queer and date a man.
Yes, exactly.
That's also allowed.
So I
like,
feel like
that's
it's
why I
like
think the whole
people
thing
are
is
like,
weird.
people are so like, you've been lying to us for 10 years, Fletcher. I'm like, no, she hasn't. Like, you're actually crazy.
But
yes.
this is what we talk about all the time, Ellie. Is like, why is there no media training or awareness? Like, you can be queer and date a man. If your announcement was to come out and say, "Hey, I'm queer. I identify as queer. I'm still queer. I'm in a relationship with this man, and I'm still queer." Like,
That's what she
That's
said. That is what she said. I read the Rolling Stone article. I read the article.
I
I
mean-
paid to read it because I was like, these lesbians are going crazy.
that's fine. That's not what the social media announcement rollout has been.
Yes.
It's been weird. It's weirdly coded. It's weirdly messaged. Like the messaging around it is awkward, and that's my problem with it. I don't care because honestly, I don't really care that much about Fletcher. I just think the announcement feels weird. It's just being handled in an awkward way, and it's an awkward way to like kick off Pride. I don't know, man.
Yes.
It's weird.
It's weird. It's also like, I just feel like our community is so weird.
Oh, we are. Listen,
I'm like, I
it's
think
Pride Month,
Yes.
babes. Celebrate,
However
be
you
who
want.
you are,
Yeah.
love who you love, date who you're gonna date. Like all of it's good, all of it's cool, but also just like don't be weird. that goes for both Fletcher and the weirdos who are gonna go after Fletcher. Okay, all of you, stop being weird. Just don't be
Yes.
weird about it.
I feel,
just like
I also just feel like if you don't vibe with her anymore, just like don't vibe with her. You don't need to come for her and
Yeah.
her entire like sexuality. Like it's
listen.
fine.
Thank God the lesbians have something else to turn their
Yes.
attention to right now, because the Wicked for Good trailer dropped, and like the community is losing its minds. Can we just?
I mean,
go with
because
that?
okay, if we really need some like super gay content for Pride, this is it.
This is it.
I mean,
This is it. Give us our lesbian witches back. Yes.
yes.
Oh my God.
completely Gelfie. Like Alphaba literally standing on
The
Galinda's
balcony.
balcony, like creeping on her.
It's giving, like Supergirl vibes. It's giving,
Yes.
I mean, it's
gonna be amazing. I cannot wait.
It's a whole lot. People are going crazy about it, but this time, like, in a good way. Be weird. Be weird about this stuff, okay? Here you go. Make all the Taylor Swift fan edit vids
Yes.
that you want, that your heart desires. Be weird that way.
Yes.
That's like that's a good, healthy weird.
Exactly.
right? Yeah. Leave Fletcher alone.
Leave Fletcher
Make
alone.
wicked fan cams.
Leave Fletcher alone. Leave Fletcher alone.
I feel like we should just clip that out of context.
Yes, please. Please.
No context.
Yes.
Listen, also for the gay dropout girlies, of which I know there are many, and I am also one, if anyone watched the latest Game Changer episode, Drinking Game, I'm just going to say all of the Izzy Rowland fans, what a way to celebrate Pride with, what do we have? Canonic girl kisser Izzy Rowland trying to kiss every girl on that stage. It was incredible. If you're not a Dropout fan, listen, get on it. It's a great time. And everyone else is really enjoying that. Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy freaking Pride.
That's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Leigh. Thanks, Ellie and Leigh. Welcome to our 149th installment of Should've Been Gay.
Oh, it was fun, it was great, but it should have been a little more gay.
And in this week's episode, and I apologize in advance, Mega Shark do 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 do, Mega Shark do do. I won't do the whole thing. You might have noticed, discerning listeners, I am once again without Ellie. It's just me, but luckily I have a very special, very welcome guest here with me today. I have Alix Markman, who's a queer screenwriter for all things super, stellar, and supernatural, and also a multiple-time return guest to the show now. Hi, Alix. Oh my gosh, thanks for hanging out with me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so sorry that Ellie was eaten by a giant shark and couldn't be here.
We R.I.P. at the bottom of the ocean. I feel like that is a little ominous when you're doing like a horror giant shark attack movie and you're already down one person. It doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
No, it really does not. So
who survives the longest between you and I, Alix?
When it comes to giant sharks, you know, I feel like I have the advantage here. I'm going to say me. We're both going to die, let's be clear. But like, I feel like I might be able to hold out just a little bit longer.
That's fine. You know, I'll be honest, as a person where I'm like a fairly athletic person. I'm usually pretty good at sports and things. I am not fast in the water, man. I'm not a bad swimmer. I'm a good swimmer. I lived in pools as a kid, but like I am not fast. There is something about the mechanics of swimming, like the how you're supposed to put your body and like your position. I'm not a speedy swimmer, so like you're probably right.
I mean, it's not even that I'm a speedy swimmer. I just feel like I have such an encyclopedic knowledge of monsters and monster movies that I would be well equipped to at least make it part way through the film. I don't know that I'm making it to the end.
You're like, well, for starters, I would never go in the ocean, and that gives me a leg
done.
up.
Complete.
Done.
I'm not
Incredible.
even present, which is why I survive.
Yeah. It's a survival by a mission.
Yeah. I stayed
Okay.
home and watched the documentary about it with my cat, and that's how I survived.
Truly what they all should have done, okay? Don't never be on the forefront of science, kids.
This
It's
is
just
the real reason that remote work is going away, is it's all a giant shark conspiracy. Because if they had
Big
worked
sharks
from
out
home,
to get us.
yeah, exactly. If they had been able to work from home, none of this would have happened.
incredible. For those of you who have not caught on yet, we are going to be talking today about 2018 blockbuster hit, The Meg.
I'm so excited. I love this movie. I the first time I met you, Leigh, I told you I wanted to talk about this movie.
And I dutifully wrote it down on our list with your name next. It had The Meg and then in parentheses, Alix. Okay. We saved it for you. We were talking before we started today about how this episode is a little bit cursed. Can I tell you, we'll get into like our experience with the movie, but had only watched the first 30 minutes the first time we scheduled this, and then we ended up changing course, picking a different movie, we pushed it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess I'm gonna have to find out how all these bitches die eventually, right? So, no, you've been waiting for this a long
time. I love this movie. I'm convinced it is super gay. I'm so excited to talk about it in what I'm sure will be my final appearance on this show, because you're never going to have me back after this, or I'm going to get eaten by a giant shark, as discussed earlier. We're going to find out.
I seem really sick of you, as you well know.
Well,
okay?
I feel like I should warn listeners at home. If you thought my previous episodes were goofy, buckle up.
I'm so excited. So let's dive in. I'm going to start us off, as always, with our IMDb synopsis of The Meg, which is as follows. A rescue mission to the bottom of the ocean is terrorized by a massive prehistoric shark. Period. That's it.
You know what? I love a clean log line. I love it.
That's the whole thing.
I wouldn't call that a synopsis, but
I would not call it accurate or a synopsis. But do you have a better, gayer synopsis for me tonight? I guess
I do. Although it is actually more of a log line now that I'm looking at it.
Excellent.
Screenwriter card is showing. When the dinosaur shark that ruined his career reappears, a cishet male ally must dive down deep to save his bisexual ex-wife and the rest of her queer marine biology commune, inadvertently joining it in the process.
Incredible.
That is how I see this film. I need you to know that.
You went so much better than my gay synopsis, which is Ruby Rose babysits the world's dumbest heteros as they try to survive a giant ancient shark.
Which, is also applicable. So
yeah, it's not wrong. You can't say I'm wrong. And I feel like I should say, for all the, bury your gays fears out there, she does survive.
She does survive.
She does make it.
We're obviously spoiling the whole movie here, but the shitty white man sacrifices himself to save Ruby Rose's character, and that is progress.
Yeah, that's the future liberals want. That's it. That's what it is. We want old grumpy boomer white men to sacrifice themselves for lesbians. Anyways, so Alix, tell me about your experience with the Meg. What is this long-standing, just dying need to talk about how gay this movie is?
So
bring us back at the beginning.
Let me take you, but come on a journey with me. So,
I'd love to.
Let's go for a swim.
It's gonna take a while.
So I did not actually see this when it came out. I remember when it came out. I missed it in theaters, and it was one of these movies. I was like, oh, I'll get around to it eventually. So a couple years later, picture this. We're talking deep 2020. Okay, we have been in quarantine now at least a couple months. No one has had a normal amount of human interaction.
And you were like, what would lift the spirits is watching a bunch of people get eaten by a shark.
Correct. More or less.
Okay, great.
But I watched it with my roommate at the time. Keep in mind, this person also moved in just before we went into lockdown. So we went from, knowing each other a bit to being each other's only human interaction for months. And which
is healthy.
Super healthy.
Yeah.
That's not a trauma bond.
No, not at all.
And so I don't even remember how we landed on the movie. We both like action movies, so I guess that's how it came about. But we're watching the movie, and she is also a member of the queer community, and I don't remember who said it. I actually think it was her, but I truly don't remember. We were just sort of sitting there, and we're maybe a third of the way through, and one of us said, "Is it just me, or is this the gayest thing you've ever seen?" And the other one went, okay, yes. And we spent the entire time just dissecting the minutia and unspoken terms of these characters' relationships, all against the backdrop of the giant shark. And I don't know, it was beautiful. And it was a real bonding moment for us. And I will say, I no longer live with this person, but we have remained good friends. And this is a tenet of our friendship. So much so that we got together to watch the sequel. I have to watch The Meg movies with this person. And to be clear, I will watch as many of these as they make. Like, if they go full Sharknado and make like 7 of them, I will watch all 7 Megs. Like, I'm all in.
And that's the secret beauty of Big Shark, is bringing people together.
Exactly.
You know? I haven't watched the sequel yet, although I probably will, because honestly, it was like an enjoyable dumb, you know? Like,
no, it honestly was the perfect movie to watch at that point in time, because it is silly, but it's aware that it's silly, and it just fully leans into it and embraces it. And like, that is so enjoyable to me. I love when movies and TV are able to do that. And also, the sequel, I know we're not here to talk about the sequel, but I will say the sequel is also not a heterosexual film whatsoever.
Okay, round 2 when you're coming back for the sequel. No, because listen, there is also something to be said for, like, especially those early pandemic years. Watching it was cathartic to watch people be in a worse spot than you.
Oh,
and
completely.
like, these people, they're in a bad spot. They're not having a good time of it. And it's like, I feel like that was when Kelsey and I went through a big phase of Naked and Afraid. Did you ever see Naked and Afraid?
No. I've seen the SNL parody of Naked and Afraid.
So the real show, we watched like seasons of it, because I feel like there was just something about being like, well, my life is bad, but you don't even have underwear. Like, you are fully being eaten alive by like mosquitoes, and like there's fucking all sorts of bugs up in your junk. You haven't eaten in 4 days. Like, it's raining and you are freezing cold. And you know what? Honestly, my life's looking pretty good right now.
Look, escapism can take many forms.
It's great. It's great.
And for us, definitely in this household, it was a lot of like big blockbuster action movies. We watched, obviously, the Meg. Thor Ragnarok was in pretty regular rotation. The Jumanji films. Like, those kinds of like high stakes, kind of goofy action movies. Like, that's just what we were watching. We had like 4 or 5 movies that we were just cycling through, because also, you know, like, there was a real, I don't know, my brain was broken. It was hard to get into new things. We're
all still broken. We're broken husks of the people we once were.
Oh, completely. I also work in, you know, film and video games, so I haven't been a non-broken person in a very long time.
Well, listen, as I just finished telling you, I'll retell it for all the listeners as well. My experience with this movie is I hadn't seen it. Unsurprisingly, Leigh hadn't seen a movie. I did watch the first 30 minutes the first time we tried to schedule this episode. I got to rewatch that and finish the movie on a recent work trip flight to Montreal. So I'm there with my tiny little cell phone on a plane watching a giant shark who looks a little less impressive on an iPhone screen, I will say.
That's so upsetting to me.
I know.
I mean, I'm also like a screen size queen. Like, because now I have a nice TV, so often I will not watch things or even like play certain video games unless I can play them or watch them on the big screen. Like, it's such a, when I do fly and I don't watch on my phone, but I do download things to my tablet, and there's a real sort of pruning process of what am I willing to watch on a screen this big.
Well, the answer for me was the Meg, because I had to watch it. And I wanted to make sure I had time. So listen, you gotta make do with what you got. And I had some time to kill on that flight.
That is a long flight. So
it was a long flight. I will say, I do think the shark would have been a little bit more, a little more impressive. Still a big shark.
I missed both of these movies in theaters, both the Meg and the sequel. And I watched them at home on a decently sized TV. But I truthfully, like, if they re-release them for Shark Week or something, like, I'm all in. I'm going. Like,
I feel like I could watch this on my TV. I am not going to promise I would enjoy watching this in a theater. You know what's funny? Again, for someone who, like, I love water, I was the kid who, like, you know, you're fully blue around the lips, and your parents are like, get out of the pool. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm having fun, right? I was that kid. I do not like scary water stuff. That is not my jam. I don't know why it freaks me out.
No, that's fair. Oceans are pretty scary.
Yeah, but I'm not talking ocean stuff. I'm talking like, I remember when I was in high school, when I was dating the girl I dated in high school, and there was one summer where like she'd be at work and I'd be hanging out at her mom's place playing Zelda. Which Zelda was it? One of the old Zeldas.
Like what console are we talking?
N64.
So it would be Ocarina of Time.
It was Ocarina of Time. Okay. I'm playing Ocarina of Time. And you just have to do some things where you're underwater. And they're not scary at all. And they're very pixelated. And sometimes you'd be like sinking down in the water. And I'm like, I can't see below me because there's not enough graphics. And I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Like that level of just like, I don't like when you're in water and you can't see everything around you. It freaks me out, man.
No,
so
that's fair.
I feel like this on a real big screen, I'd maybe be like, that's a big fucking shark. Oh no.
I got
a feeling I did not have on my iPhone at all.
Okay, that's fair. I got to see Jaws on the big screen, which like they did a re-release for, I don't know, maybe the 40th anniversary or something. And one of my local theaters was screening it. And I don't think I'd ever seen it start to finish anyway. So, and I loved seeing it. Like, I love seeing blockbusters on the big screen, how they're meant to be seen, right? Yeah. But that's such a film nerd thing. Also, here, would you like to hear Tiny Alix story in the complete opposite direction of being afraid of the water?
Yes, please.
So when I was maybe 5 or so, my parents won like a vacation package or something, and they took us to Universal Studios in Florida. I don't know what it is about Canadians, particularly Ontarians, but they love to vacation in Florida. And they took us to Universal because we were kids. This is where the famous, not actually famous, picture of me with Xena was taken that I then recreated as an adult because I'm a cool person with cool hobbies. But so you ride the movies at Universal, right? And they had a Jaws ride, which closed maybe 10 or 15 years ago now. I don't know. It's really sad to me that it's closed because it's actually a beautifully designed ride. And you would hate this. You're in a boat and like it takes you around this lake and these like animatronic sharks attack the boat.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like I could actually be okay with because there's a certain level of like lacking realism that I think would be fine for me.
It's like, and it's all, pre-programmed and stuff, right? Like the boat is clearly on a track in the water. The sharks are on tracks as well. But, I was little and I can't remember what my dad said to me. He either checked in with me or he did the dad thing of trying to like make sure I was scared. I truly don't know what he said to me, but he said something to me. And apparently, because I don't remember this, but apparently I said to him, "It's just a big fish, Dad." So
yeah, that's all. Just a big fish.
It's just a big fish.
As we saw in this movie, right?
Yeah, just a big
fish. Speaking of, let's dive in to this movie with a big fish. Because I know you've had so much time to break this movie down, to think about this. You have thesis statements ready to go. You have a TED Talk. Where do you want to start? Because I want to give you this is your journey, and I'm just along for the swim. So you tell me where we're starting.
I guess I don't know. Like it's the relationships of it. So okay, we all know marine biology is inherently queer. Virtually every queer person, especially queer women that I know, had a marine biology phase, however long or short, but they had one. I sort of had one. We all had one. And there's something about the way the characters interact with each other, especially with Mei Yin, the daughter. Like they're all, when they're comforting each other because they've just gotten back from the attack, and they're all kind of passing the kid around, and there are like group cuddles, and like they all know the kid and they hang out with the kid. And I was like, this is a queer commune. Like, you know how we all joke about like, oh, I just want to throw my phone away and like found a queer commune in the woods with my friends. They did it, but just marine biology edition. And
I do want you to know, when you first made us watch the Meg, I remember distinctly from watching the first 30 minutes, I remember so vividly sitting on the train, watching on my phone, as I do, and you meet the little girl. And I just remember in my head going, I swear to God, Alex, if you make me watch this adorable little girl get eaten by a shark, I will never forgive you. And then her mom gets in the thing, and I was like, if you make me watch this girl watch her mom get eaten by a shark, I will never forgive you.
No.
Because yes, she is all of our child. She is our gay commune love child. And
Yes.
she's so cute.
She's so
I love
cute.
her.
She's so well adjusted. Like, she
Yeah.
really, is not phased by most things. She's like well educated. Like, I was like, this kid is being like, it takes a village. It takes a gay village.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna stop you right there to just say the parent in me is like, this child is a little beyond her years in ways that are clearly trauma, and it's fine. But like, yes, she's mostly well adjusted. She's covering up a lot of trauma with humor, and like, she's gonna work that out in therapy later. It's fine. Anyways.
We're really gonna have to do an episode on the second one then.
Okay, great. I'm excited.
Or at least talk about it. Because I would be fascinated to hear what you have to think about it. But yes, like, just, I don't know.
I'll journal my thoughts for you.
Thank you. I did journal my thoughts. Like, literally, here is my Buffy vampire notebook full of
I believe
thoughts.
that says vampire.
Full of thoughts
Slayer
on
of the
bag.
vampires.
And it's just like the way that all the adults interact with the kid, like, her mom's off doing something, so like someone else is holding her, like, she's like bedding with Lori in the hospital bed, and like, brings her sodas because she knows what everyone likes. Like, it was so familial and sweet, and I was like, they're living the dream. This is the queer commune dream. The fact that the Jason Statham character Jonas is such a like man's man, but he's also remarkably cool with his ex-wife. It was like, yeah, because he's not a homophobic dick. Like, their marriage didn't work out, but he's fine with the fact that she's queer. Also, like, he's clearly making eyes at another woman in this queer commune. Like, everyone's cool with it. It's fine. It's great. Like,
I agree. There's like one straight guy on that whole thing, and it's the rich dude. It's Rainn Wilson's character. He's like the awkward hetero who like bumbled in, being like, and you're like, get out.
Who you can't wait
you're
to
clearly
die.
killing the vibe here. You know?
I think there's something so important when writing a horror movie. This is my personal belief. You have to have at least one character that you really don't want to die. Like, in this case, I would argue it's the two guys from the submarine, Toshi and then the Wall. They just call him the Wall.
Listen, I was enough of a heroes person that Toshi dying just killed me.
I know.
Killed me.
And he's such a wife guy, and like an actual wife guy, not a shitty wife guy. Anyway, so like, you have to have at least one character who you really don't want to die, who will die. You have to have at least one character who you really want to die.
Yeah, for sure.
And that would be the Rainn Wilson character, because you got to give that to your audience, man.
Listen, I'm realizing as we're getting into this, I know we're 149 episodes in. I know all of our listeners do not watch every single movie that we talk about. And I also know a lot of people, not horror fans, not jump scary giant shark, fans, whatever. I feel like we should do like a super quick plot recap for anyone who wants to follow along and is not willing to watch the movie, just so you have kind of like a general gist of what we're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So since the synopsis was not
no, I've been very descriptive.
Summarizing.
Very descriptive. Okay. I'm going to try to hit just the high points. Jump in and tell me if I'm missing anything important, or if I'm wrong, or if you have a thing that you're dying that needs to be said. But we meet Jonas. Jonas is the Jason Statham. He's our main character. He does rescue dives deep down in the ocean. And the last one that he did went horribly wrong because something like crushed the sub that he was rescuing a bunch of guys from. Mm-hmm. Okay? That's our like flashback intro. Then we jump to modern day, where he's like drunk on a beach, basically, in Thailand. Except they need him to come out of retirement because the people who tried to explore the beyond the depth of the Mariana Trench, right? So they're like, it's not the Mariana Trench that's the bottom of the ocean. It's actually a nebulous cloud water layer, and then there's more deeper down past a thermocline. Okay, so they're like, there's more ocean below the ocean.
I think that's true, isn't it? Like, there's so much about the ocean we don't know. Like,
I'd
maybe
rather
not
never know, personally.
But like, okay, maybe this is not specifically accurate, but the fact that like there are depths we can't go to.
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
There's stuff down there that we don't know about, and maybe shouldn't know about,
and
like,
should
this
never
is
find
true,
out
no?
about. Yes. Listen, aspiring marine biologists, gays, leave the ocean alone. Leave it be.
It's like it feels very Lovecraftian, cosmic horror. Like you can't even comprehend it. It will melt your brain. Like
we don't need to know what's down there.
Yeah.
It's fine. Okay,
just go to the
leave it alone.
aquariums. Look at what is safe to look at behind glass.
Yeah, but these idiots didn't leave it alone. They're like, let's take a submarine down there. So they take their
Side
submarine
note,
down
these
there.
idiots didn't leave it alone is like an evergreen statement
Yes.
for horror film.
Yeah.
This isn't even really a horror film. It's a horror-informed action film, but like
Yeah.
evergreen statement.
They didn't leave it alone. They took sub down there, and they're like, wow, it's so amazing and oddly bright down here. And now something's attacking us. Oh no. Okay, so they go get Jonas, Jason Statham's character.
Well, something's
to be like,
attacking them and they can't get back up.
yeah, they're stuck down there. Okay, so they're like, you gotta go rescue them below the Mariana Trench. And he's like, I don't want to. And they're like, your ex-wife's down there. And he's like, ugh, fuck, okay.
And because he's an ally and he's remarkably cool with the fact that his wife appears to prefer women.
Jason Statham diving down to the bottom of the ocean, waving a little pride flag.
Yes, exactly.
I'm coming. So, okay, so so they go down. They obviously are being attacked by a giant shark, which they don't seem to know yet, but we all know. So they managed to get them back up, but something followed them up. And what is it? A big fuck-off shark who proceeds to eat a lot of people. Yeah, fuck shit up. But now they're like, oh no, we accidentally brought up from the unpenetrable depths of the ocean a giant ancient shark who
that
can
Jonas has been telling them was the problem the entire
Yeah.
time. Like, this is why he was drunk on a beach, because the giant shark ruined his career because no one
Ruined his life.
believed him.
and ate his friends. And so he's like,
Only
oh
some
no,
of his
we've
friends."
released a giant shark onto the world who is unprepared for this. And so they're like, I know, we'll go deal with this ourselves. so they're like, we're gonna take like essentially a little like outboard motor boat out into the ocean to like go chase down a 50-foot shark. I don't know. This thing's enormous. I'm getting wildly off the rails on the synopsis. But they go try to hunt down this shark. This shark is like, I'm gonna go to the most populated beach in the world.
Wait. No, you skipped a very important step. Because they do
what did I
get the
skip?
shark.
Oh, you're right. There's another shark. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you skipped the most important point of the giant shark movie is that they do kill the giant shark.
First,
but
they
then
put themselves.
a gianter shark comes and eats it.
Apologies, listeners. I forgot. First,
This is
they
why
put
I'm
themselves in
here.
a big plastic soda can and drop themselves in the ocean to poke the shark a bit, and then they do kill that shark. Then they realize there's another shark, and then they chase that shark to a super populated beach where it continues eating more people, and then everyone has to now kill a second shark. And this movie is insane.
It's so
just
good. It's so
insane.
entertaining. It's exactly what you want out of a giant shark movie. Like, it's just, I love it.
It's so silly. So there's Jonas. The people who made this huge deep sea exploratory thing, there's like this, Dr. Zhang who made this whole thing, and then he's got a daughter, and then the daughter's got a daughter. That's the cute little girl. Suyin is her mom, who is like, hitting on Jason Statham the whole movie as they try to survive this shark. There's also Ruby Rose, who plays Jax, who's an extremely gay. I don't even remember what she does in this movie. She be's gay, okay? That's what she brings to the team, is a certain dykiness that they really needed, And then, they all many of them get eaten by a shark. Some of them don't get eaten by a shark. They eventually... What do they even do to this shark? I literally don't even remember how they kill the shark, because I think I just spent the whole end of this movie going, what?
Jason Statham is, going, it's one-on-one, him and the shark, because of course it is. There's an incredible shot of him like flying through the air with this leaping shark, and it's just amazing. But he realizes he can't do it alone. He needs his community. So what does he do? He attacks it a bunch underwater with a knife so that a whole bunch of lesser sharks will come and eat it.
Oh, yeah. He legit stabs a shark in the eye with a knife.
He does.
It's that kind of a movie.
It's that kind of a movie.
It's very like, I'm a real man. Yeah. So anyways, for anyone who didn't feel like watching the Meg, you've basically now seen the whole thing. With a little less blood and a little less like sharky jump scares, okay? So if that's not your thing, we've really saved you a lifetime of trauma. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back to dive into more of it after these words from our sponsors. We're back, Alex. So now tell me more about this gay shark. Now that everyone knows the basic, plot beats, big bullet points of the movie, there's a shark. It's big. Oh no. We killed the shark. Okay.
There's a bigger shark.
There's a bigger shark, yeah. And I'm curious about the sharks. Do you think that's like a shark, like mama shark, baby shark situation? Or is this like mommy shark, mama shark?
I do think they're both female. I can't remember if that's actually stated in the film, but I do think they're both female.
Fully headcanon.
I do also, this is, you can cut this out if this is taking it too far, but I do remember discussing this with another friend, also queer, who had seen the movie. This topic specifically, the gender of the sharks, and this person said, well, they have to be female. And I said, why? They said, because you wouldn't be able to miss the penis.
Do sharks have external penises, though?
I don't know. I didn't make it that far in my marine biology phase.
Sorry. I just want everyone to know I am about to type in shark penis into Google and tell you what I can find out. I've gone down a weird rabbit hole already because I want you to know that the first thing that you find when you Google shark penis is sharks have two penises. They do have two penises. I'm looking at an awful lot of shark penises right now.
I'm not.
That's better. You're making better choices than I am. But I had to know. They do have two penises. And I would like to say I do not remember seeing a single shark penis in this movie. So canonically, these are both lady sharks, okay?
We do know that there must be male sharks, because presumably the sharks are not actually like 1 billion years old. I don't think they would. It's like 200 million or something. But
it's very cold down there, right?
Yeah.
They're just extremely well preserved.
What were we talking about?
before our slight tangent into shark penises,
oh God,
couldn't tell you. We were talking about the sharks.
Yeah, I don't think it's a mama shark, baby shark situation. I do think they would both just single white female sharks. Because they do like a bit of a mother-daughter parallel with, I think, their whales at the beginning of the movie, which is then horrifying because you see both of them. Well, one of them gets killed, then you see the other one get killed. But I don't think that parallel exists with the sharks. I think that would kind of weird, especially because one eats the other. But no, I do think they're both female. Obviously lesbians.
I mean, I'm just saying that when that second shark hits, it kind of comes after them with a vengeance after they killed the first shark, right?
Oh my God, they were girlfriends and they were roommates.
And they were roommates beneath the thermocline.
How did I never make this joke? I watched this movie for the first time with my queer roommate, and I'm only now making the "and they were roommates" joke. I'm so disappointed in myself.
Listen, once you dive deep below the Mariana Trench, there's really there's only so many fish in the sea down there, is what I'm saying, okay? Like, you date who you can find.
Especially if you're like a supposedly extinct species.
Yeah. You know what else I think is funny is that they went all the way down there. I feel like I'm so hung up on the sharks of this movie and I'm getting distracted.
There's a giant squid too.
Yeah, but that's part of the thing is I'm like, I feel like there should have been more giant creatures down there. Like, I feel like they got down there and they were like, wow, look at these perfectly normal sized fish. And then also a massive shark. And
I'm disappointed we didn't get a blobfish. If you don't know what a blobfish is, please Google it. It's like one of my favorite animals. I own 2 plush ones that were both gifts because I love them so much.
Some of the fish they saw down there could have been blobfish, right?
Well, I guess, yeah, I think because blobfish look like blobs, but the idea, what has been proposed is that the pressure is so different down there that when we bring them up, they kind of sploot.
They blob out.
But they might not actually look like that down there, which is really sad to think about.
They know what they look like. They look like totally normal fish when they're down there.
Oh, do they? I thought it was just a hypothesis.
Oh, see, no, and look it up because it's going to make you real sad.
Oh, I'm not going to look it up then, actually. I think I'm going to just stay with my...
Stick with the blobfish, yeah. Okay, sorry. I'm going to stop distracting us about the sharks and the, biodiversity located below the
this is so
imaginary
Leigh
thermocline
coded, though.
at the bottom of the... Listen, I just have some questions and I need more scientific research, but also nobody go in the ocean.
Like,
okay?
if we weren't doing this episode and you were just texting me that you had watched this movie, you would be talking about the biodiversity. Like, this is just a normal conversation.
There should be other giant things down there, okay? That's all I'm saying. There were a lot of teeny tiny fish.
I'm a screen size queen, and Leigh is a biodiversity size queen, is what we're learning.
Exactly. We all have our things, okay? It's fine.
Sharks have 2, apparently. This is what I mean. You're never going to have me back on this show.
And that's the episode. We got to go, everyone. So listen. Tell me about the lesbians in this movie. Because there are a number of them.
So I thought this might come up. So I decided to make an Alice board.
Oh my God. Incredible. Oh my God. This is amazing. Hold on. How do I need a screenshot of this. I'll take one later. I'll have you we're going to take a photo. You'll send me a photo and we're going to post it.
Yeah.
But this is incredible.
So
honorable mention.
Yeah, we've got Jonas up here.
Okay.
He was married to Lori. They're not together anymore. But Lori is in a triad, polycule, queer commune. It's not really clear situation with her colleagues, which includes Jax, which is the Ruby Rose character.
Yes.
And Suyin, who is not as explicitly queer as Jax is made out to be. However, I will say when Suyin first comes to talk to Jason Statham and he's just gotten out of the shower and she realizes he's just gotten out of the shower, that is a look of bisexual panic.
Yes. 100%.
Like,
you know what it is? I just saw, God, I wish I could remember his name because I would give him credit for a great joke. But I just saw a comedian, like a clip from a comedian stand-up show, and he made this joke where he was like, I think he was talking about his sister or his friend or something. I don't remember. But I just remember him saying, like, yeah, she's bisexual. And for those of you who don't know, that means she's attracted to men and she's sad about it. And that, it took me a minute to place it when I first watched it because, like, she's so clearly attracted to him, but I was like, something feels weird here. And I was like, oh, she's like deeply, deeply depressed about it.
Yes. And he's such a dude's dude, right? And she assumes he's going to be an asshole. He kind of is an asshole in a little ways. It's just very like my way or the highway. Like, and we know she has an asshole ex-husband, so she's also probably just wary of getting into a relationship again in general, but like absolute bisexual panic when she sees this man fresh out of the shower. And of course, it is implied by the end of the movie that they become a couple, which means he is now a part of this whole commune. He also is now buddies with her daughter. And yes, the honorable mentions, I mean, these guys are not technically lesbians, but Toshi, my man, is such a wife guy. And like I said, like an actual wife guy, not a shitty wife guy. And we love the wall. I actually, again, another friend who is queer, who I've discussed this movie with, because apparently I discuss it with all my queer friends, said the wall has big Thor, King of Lesbians energy.
Yeah. He's a big bear.
Yeah. Like, and he just, clearly loves women. And this, we love him for it. So yeah, here's my little Alice board of the relationships in the Meg.
Mm-hmm.
I told you this was going to get goofy.
I love it. I love it so much. I also think there's something, listen, because the other thing that I think is important for people to realize about this movie is like, yes, it is a horror movie. Yes, it is a deep sea action movie. Yes, it is somehow still a romance. Like it
But
is,
also not explicitly.
it's also kind of a rom-com-y. It leans pretty hard on it. And what I think is very funny is like, again, sometimes when we watch romance movies, there's just this underlying feeling of like, this is why straight people are broken, right? Because I totally get it. I get the trauma bonding. I get the like, oh my God, this man like stabbed a shark in the eye to save me. It's like, he's got the six pack. I get it. I get it. At the same time, I'm like, you have a child and you are now embarking on a romance with an alcoholic with a death wish. Like, I just don't know if that's actually the best choice here. Like, he is not a well-adjusted man. Like, no well-adjusted person is just like, yeah, there's a giant 50-foot shark in the water. Let me just put my little swimmy mask on and dive into the water with this big spear. Like, what the fuck are you doing, sir?
But the two of them are working together to take down the Meg, and when she needs to go help her daughter, he's like, go, like, help the kid. I will take care of the shark, which
is crazy.
But
which is great. He has no self-preservation instinct.
Oh no,
whatsoever.
None whatsoever. I do appreciate though, like, you know, there was no good moment in this story for them to kiss or to hook up, and I do actually really appreciate when a movie recognizes that, because like the vibes are there. We could, you know, you close out the movie absolutely knowing these characters are going to get together. But we didn't need...
Oh, they're gonna bone so hard. They almost died so many times. That's gonna be so real.
But, like, we didn't need the explicit statement of, like, I am attracted to you. And again, like, I don't know. I'm here for the positive bisexual representation. I really do love to believe that, like, you know, he does really care about his ex-wife and doesn't care that she is so obviously bi or queer or whatever term she identifies with, because we aren't told, which is how I read the film. Yeah, I don't know. I love this movie so much.
It's very silly. Silly.
The first time we were gonna do this, it wasn't on any streaming services in Canada anymore, so I bought it. I have the Meg on Blu-ray.
Amazing. Of course you do.
Because I'm honestly
shocked you didn't yet.
Like,
yeah.
I actually, here's another fun one for you. So when the second one came out, again, I missed it in theaters because I suck, but it came out in like 22 or 23. I can't remember. And to be honest with you, I was just getting back to going to the movies after like not going for 3 years because of COVID. I was very slow going back to movie theaters. So part of it was also that. Anyway, but I was there and we were like letting them scan our tickets, and I just saw this stack of posters. I was like, are those posters for the Meg? The person working was like,
shove them under your shirt.
Yeah, take as many as you want. So now I have like a million, maybe like 3 or 4 of these Meg 2, the trench posters. That is clearly not up at the moment, but I think I have 3 or 4 of these just chilling in storage.
That's incredible.
Because
That's
I was
incredible.
so excited. Yeah. I love this movie.
I mean, listen, I will say I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to when I started, because, you know,
you were like, Alex, why did you make me watch this?
No, I've seen a lot of, you know, I mean, like, listen, shark movies are a dime a dozen, right? There's so many. It's a trope that never gets old. Some of them, I think, lean a little too hard into the, like, seriousness of what they're trying to do. And I'm like, I feel like that's less fun. This one's fun. It's fun. It's having fun with it. Like, it knows it is presenting an absurdist thing.
Oh, yeah,
right?
Absolutely. And like I said, I love that. Like, you know, my intro earlier talking about I love and write for all things superstellar and supernatural, they're usually also funny. Like I have done some more serious stuff, but if you look at like Astrid and Lily, for example, Astrid and Lily was an hour-long comedy with monsters in it. Wildly proud of that project. A lot of my contributions to Gotham Knights, the game, were some of the... Hilariously, it was mostly either the really silly stuff or the really scary stuff, because apparently that's my happy place. So, yeah, I love a movie that is self-aware and can lean into the silliness a bit. Like, you know, the perfect example, I guess, that comes to mind for me is Scream. Like, Scream is scary. Scream is a truly scary slasher film. It's also hilarious and so self-aware to the extent that they are stating the rules of slasher movies within the movie. Like, it's great. Everyone go watch Scream if you haven't already.
After you finish watching The Meg. Okay?
And The Meg 2, The Trench. These are books, by the way. Did you learn that in your research?
No.
These are based on books. Which is why they keep making them, is because it's a series of novels.
I feel like it probably works better as a movie. I'm not going to lie.
I read like a plot summary of the first novel when I first saw the movie. I don't remember it well. They definitely took some liberties, but I think like the basic structure was the same from what I recall. It's obviously been a few years, but yeah, I don't know. Like, big sharks, man. They just lend themselves to the big screen.
They do. They really do.
I've actually forgotten one of my key points that I wanted to bring up when we were talking about the sharks. But I feel like we need to acknowledge, I've got my research here. Hang on, let me find it. I should have bookmarked it ahead of time. But we know this film is gay and that the sharks are gay because on Autostraddle's list of the 100 most lesbianish first names ranked by lesbianism, published 2016, so we might need to revisit this, but Meg/Megan/ all the ways you can spell Megan is number 16 in the top 100. Sense. And we know this list is gospel because the number one name is Alix. So, by virtue of this research, the Meg is automatically gay.
And we called it with the dykey sharks.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not just dykes, they're dykes with the same name, which honestly feels even gayer if you
That's
ask
a gay
me.
rite of passage, is dating someone with the same name as you, I feel like.
So I have to ask, though, because if we think that Soo-yin and Jonas are for sure boning when this movie ends, do we also think, like, Laurie and Jax are hooking up? Do we think Soo-yin kind of goes back to this little queer triad that they had going? What do you think?
You know, I've actually never thought about that before.
I can't believe in your research you didn't come to this natural next step of, like, where did they go from here, you know?
I'm really not the expert on non-monogamous relationship structures. So I don't want to do these characters a disservice. I feel like it could go either way. I do feel like regardless of who is still hooking up with who, the commune remains intact. Like, you know, because a big part of what brings Jonas into the fold is his developing bond with Mei-yin, right? It's all sort of structured around the fact that they all seem to care for this kid. So whether or not, you know, Soo-yin remains non-monogamous, who's to say? I think Jonas is monogamous with her. I'm not sure if she continues to be to date other people or not. But Laurie and Jax absolutely continue to be a thing. And, like, we're all just living together in this marine biology commune. Like, clearly.
Yeah, if you could move it onto land, I think they'd really be onto something here, you know?
Oh, my God.
Okay, so with that, then, who are we shipping? If we want to round out with our ships.
I do ship the triad.
Okay.
I also do ship Soo-yin and Jonas together. So whether or not, you know, the triad is in the past or they will coexist.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Hit me with some ship names. What's our
God,
Suyin
I
and
forgot
Jonas?
this is part of it.
What's our Suyin and Jonas ship name?
They're hard.
Sonis.
Yeah,
Suyus.
Joyin. Like it doesn't. I want it to be a shark pun.
Joyin. No, they're all going to be bad. They're all gonna be bad. It's unsurprising that the hetero pairing doesn't have a good ship name. Hit me with a ship name for the triad. Because I'm going to say Lori and Jax are easy. They're locks. Okay, got it.
No, the triad, they're the Finnal girls.
Oh. Ooh, I see what you did there.
Because they all survive.
They do all survive.
And it's a Finn pun, which the movie even makes. They put fan at the
I
end,
know. I did
love.
like that. Suyin, Lori, Jax. Sulax.
I stand by Finnal girls. It's never going to get better than that.
Anything that we didn't get to? Do you have what are other points
Let's
that
consult
we need to hit? I know, quick. Hit the notes up. I don't want to miss. I know you've been waiting for this. I don't want us to miss anything.
We have actually gotten to a lot.
We can also pick up some more when we do the Meg 2, don't worry.
Oh, I hope she grows up to be just like you, which Suyin's father tells her as he's dying is clearly his way of like letting her know that he accepts her as queer.
Yeah. We love a deathbed queer acceptance,
This was definitely not me. One of my friends must have said this to me because obviously I talked to a few people before this, but someone had said, I can't even remember who said this. The sharks like the cold so they can wear their shark flannel.
Oh God, that's amazing.
Oh, okay. So like the message of the movie is that women tearing women down is bad, which we see from the Meg eating the other Meg. And then also like the first thing the Meg actually does is save Suyin from the giant squid. So like, feminism.
That's an interesting take on that interaction that had not occurred to me. Yeah, no one really credits the shark with the rescue.
See? Like, credit where credit is due. The other thing I have in here that automatically makes it queer, sorry, like these were clearly rapid fire notes while watching the movie and talking to a few different friends. One, there is a dog named after a Lord of the Rings character, and we all know queer women love Lord of the Rings, as evidenced by my how many Lord of the Rings tattoos, and also the dog doesn't die. So, further evidence.
But, see, this is what I think. I feel like this is why I enjoyed the Meg, actually, is because there are a lot of things where it's like, I feel like they took things that you would sort of expect and then just would be like, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, they don't kill the dog. They don't kill the explicit lesbian.
Yeah. They do kill the rich jackass, which I feel like does not always happen in these movies, right? Like, there's always that one asshole that survives where you're like, why?
Yeah.
Why would he make it to the end? I love that they just absolutely had him get eaten by a shark. It was great.
It's so refreshing. I genuinely love this movie. I have obviously watched it several times. It's just a great time all around. It's exactly what I want out of a big shark movie. I really do read it as super queer. So
I think that we'll leave it at that. We'll say the Meg should have been gay. Are you ready for our Q and gay, Alex?
Let's do it.
Q and gay.
Starting with question 1. What sea monster would you be most terrified of? Out of A, Megalodon, B, Kraken, C, Leviathan, or D, a Hydra?
Are they the Leviathans from Supernatural? Because those were really gross.
They can be whichever Leviathan you feel most comfortable with.
Let's say the Leviathan, just because the most recent example in my mind are the ones from Supernatural, and they were pretty gross. Like, just from a pure gross out standpoint, I feel like if I had to deal with that, I'd be like, just take me. Like, I want to die at this point. Like,
my Google is already in a bad place, so I'm just Googling Leviathan Supernatural.
Google Leviathan Supernatural open mouth.
Oh, well, that's creepy, but that is not what the ocean leviathans look like. They're just like big sea serpents.
Yeah, in Supernatural, they can like take human form. Probably
Well, that's
because it's easier to
terrifying.
shoot. But
I
then
don't
the,
like
the
that one
giant
bit.
jaws open, and there's also black goo, and like it's just, for some reason you can defeat them with borax. They're really gross. So like,
Give me Meg the Dyke Shark over that any day. Okay, question 2. Who was the gayest character out of A, Jax, B, Lori, C, Suyin, or D, the shark?
the sharks.
The sharks, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Jax is the easy answer, but because she's the easy answer, she can't be the easy. Like, you have to, I'm here for the unconventional gays always.
Mhm.
I think it's the sharks.
Okay. Question 3.
Wait, who's
What's-
your answer?
Who do I think is the gayest?
Yeah.
I mean, it's Jax. No hate to the sharks, man, but it's Jax. I also love how she's so gay, and she's got the gayest hair to the point that, like, her hair gets wet, and everyone's like, what? Who are you?
Yeah.
I just think that's, like, a deeply queer moment that really resonated,
Fair.
Okay, question 3. What scares you more out of A, deep ocean, or B, deep space?
Deep ocean, I think.
People are conflicted on this, though,
I really love Arrival, and of course Ted Chiang's story that it's based on. And that's not the only science fiction I enjoy, obviously. But I tend to enjoy positive science fiction, I guess, or more positive science fiction. And I think that if there's intelligent life out there, and they're smarter than us, then hopefully they're kinder than us, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure there are also horrors in deep space as well. The other
Yeah,
part
I
of
have
that,
no desire to go to either of these. I'm just...
well, now space is also full of billionaires. So the
Not
other
enough of
part
them.
of it is that,
Not
frankly,
enough. Send more up there. Leave them up there.
have you ever
Just
seen
saying.
that joke that's like in 1967 or whatever, we put a man on the moon. Why did we stop? Why did we not continue to put all of the men there?
Listen, after the Ocean Gate thing, I had a whole plan where I was like, I think we are not capitalizing on this because what we really need to do is advertise the Titanic on Joe Rogan. How do we get billionaires into the Titanic?
Okay, so my other thing about why I think I would fear the deep ocean as opposed to deep space is just, frankly, deep ocean is closer to home.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that is
It's too close.
Yeah, it's too close. Where
Don't
like
like
deep
it.
space just stretches on, and like I'm sure there are both good and bad things out there, but regardless, they're pretty far away. The ocean is comparatively closer and therefore more likely to be a problem.
Okay, fair enough. Deep ocean it is. Okay, question 4. Pick a shark movie out of the following choices. A, The Meg. B, Jaws. C, Sharknado. Or D, Shark Tale.
Oh man. I think I gotta give it to Jaws, because without Jaws, we would not have 2 of the other 3. I'm pretty sure we'd still have Shark Tale, but without Jaws, there would be no Meg, there would be no Sharknado, and I'm a bit of a film history nerd. And again, credit where credit's due. Jaws is like the OG big shark movie, and it's also the OG blockbuster. So yeah, I think I gotta give it to Jaws. I haven't seen Jaws in a long time. Maybe I'll watch that.
Okay, final question. Very important question.
Very important.
Question 5. What's the best weird animal penis out of A?
No!
Prepare yourself, Alex.
I'm so upset.
Shark, double penis. B, echidnas, 4-headed penis. C, dolphins, prehensile penis. Or D, sea slugs, single-use penis.
Can I opt out of this question? Like, I don't want anything to do with this. What it makes me upset is that
opened this door and you have to walk through it.
What makes me upset is that I know you did this while we were talking.
Oh, to be clear, I wrote all of these while we were talking.
Okay. Oh, man. This entire question is cursed.
Yep. We sometimes try to write them ahead, but honestly, most of the time we end up rewriting them during the episode anyways, so
well, I guess you
wrote all
want
of
them to
these.
be applicable to the conversation. Oh,
Pick
God.
a weird penis fact. Welcome to a
upset.
lesbian podcast. We've talked about penises a lot.
Oh my god. Okay, it was the Meg, dolphin.
Echidnas have a four-headed penis, and sea slugs have a single-use penis that falls off after.
It's not single use, you just have to clean it.
That's the gay answer. That's what we're going with. There you go.
Oh my
Remember,
god, I hope my mom
everyone,
doesn't listen to this.
You can give us your own answers to our Q and Gay questions on our Instagram at Lez Hang Out Pod. If you need us to know all of your thoughts about weird animal penises. Alix, thanks so much for coming back on, hanging out. Let our listeners know, where can they find you on all of the things?
My handle is @MarkWoman on all of the things. These days I am most active on Blue Sky and Instagram, but you can find me on that handle pretty much wherever.
And we can't wait to have you back for the Meg 2.
Into the trench. Thanks for having me.
We love hearing from all of you. We love continuing to build this community, and we just want to shout out some of our favorite things every episode, starting with Artichoke Hunter, who commented on our YouTube video about the Bros episode and how much we loved it. So they said, I've never heard queer people who loved Bros. Maybe I should check it out. I thought it was more of an Amelia Perez. And listen, nothing is Amelia Perez. Nothing but Amelia Perez is Amelia. No, that's not true. One other thing is Amelia Perez, and it's Jenny's wedding. But otherwise, no, Bros was great. Check it out. It's a good time. It's dumb, it's funny, it's cute, it's romantic, it's whatever.
I also feel like I've just looked up a Reddit thread. People do hate it.
They do. No, I know they do.
But it's funny because
But you and I didn't hate it.
Because I do think that if you like Billy, like, you just have to like Billy Eichner. So,
Yeah.
like, if you don't like Billy Eichner, then sure. Because I feel like a lot of people are just like, could not get past. Yeah. So I feel like you have to like Billy Eichner and then you will like the movie. But it's not Amelia Perez.
No, it's not Amelia
Not
Perez.
even
Listen.
freaking close.
Like, I'm fine with, like, Billy Eichner is a certain taste.
Yes.
Whatever, that's fine. But, like, it's not a hate crime movie, okay?
No.
I mean,
it is
Jesus.
not even close. Not even close. Also, a shout out to Taylor Bo Baylor, who reached out to us on Spotify and said, shout out to the generalized anxiety baddies.
Yeah.
Which, like, every single episode, we're just going to do a little, actually, yeah, we sign off every episode. Shout out to the generalized anxiety baddies, and let's hang out again soon.
This episode sponsored by my therapist.
Yeah. I mean, we have been sponsored by BetterHelp before, so that makes sense.
So true. Always, we want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Sophia Phillips,
and Armani Gucci,
and our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen,
and Andrea Doucette. Thank you all so much. We could not keep doing this podcast without your support and the support of all of our patrons.
Remember, you can also find us on all the social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Lez Hang Out Pod.
You can email us at lezhangoutpod@gmail.com.
You can check out our website at lezhangoutpod.com.
And whatever app you use to listen to podcasts, make sure that you subscribe. That way you'll get new episodes as soon as they go up every week.
We also post videos up on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/lezhangoutpod to catch them.
Lez Hang Out is an independently produced show. It's hosted by us. Our audio production is done by Ellie. Our production assistant is Krista Murison. And other podcasting shenanigans are done by me.
If you want to support the podcast, you can rate and review us on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. It helps other people find the show.
If you want to support us on Patreon, it is one of the best ways to help us keep making this show. You get access to our Discord chat. You get access to all sorts of other stuff that we do behind the scenes. You get access to our Leztricurricular episodes on Patreon. You can join that at bit.ly/LezPatreon.
If you want to get some Lez Hang Out Pride merch, the best time to do it is now at bit.ly/LezMerch. We got all kinds of really fun gay designs up there.
We also have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings. You can find us everywhere at $Bean Prod.
We're at our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can listen to all of the episodes of our first show, The Flame, and our second show, Journey to the Heart, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
And if you want to help support us in making those musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/$Patreon.
If you want to follow us individually, you can find me on Instagram, Blue Sky, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Ellie Brigida. With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Leigh.
And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Hey folks, we're the hosts of Comic Sans, the podcast about comics for those who are sans knowledge.
I'm Yen, a reader, writer, liver, and breather of comic books.
And I'm Nat. I used to know absolutely nothing about comics, but now...
So actually, I've got a quiz for you.
I still have a lot to learn about comics.
Thank you. On Comic Sans, I make Nat read some of my favorite works in the medium, including Saga, Daredevil, and the Flintstones.
And Yen talks about what makes that comic special. Sometimes it's a story, sometimes it's...
Paneling, gutters, page turns, colorings, lettering, semiotics, juxtaposition.
Okay, Professor, save it for the episodes.
You can listen to Comic Sans on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You can binge our first 2 seasons. That's over 20 episodes on 20 different comics.
And we just launched Season 3, new episodes every 2 weeks.